Hi, this is Dr. Mark Senna, and welcome to today's Level Up podcast. And I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. Mitch Holland. Mitch is the Director of Vitality Health and Legal Funding. They've been helping chiropractors across the country, and I asked Mitch if he would please spend some time with me today to share his message of, I think it's a message of hope, actually, Mitch, for doctors of chiropractic and across the country. He has some really great solutions, some great answers for you during this time where finances are more important than ever before. Mitch has put together some wonderful options for docs who are out there in practice. So, Mitch, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Mark. So great to be here with you and with your staff, and an opportunity to help your clients, chiropractors, patients. Chiropractic was mainly founded on a very simple principle that increased function or improved function increases health. And that's true in your financial health as well. And I have a background both in finance and in chiropractic. So for me, this is a real labor of love. We want to make, especially in the time right now of COVID and the crazy stuff that's going on, not only that, but just to help doctors create financial certainty, right? Two words, financial certainty. So I would ask you, Mark, if you had financial certainty in your practice when a patient walked in the door and they had an injury case, how would that improve your life and your practice and your mindset?
Well, Mitch, when you have financial certainty, you give stronger recommendations. The patient understands that those recommendations are made for their benefit and not for your benefit. When you take stronger certainty, patients take stronger action. They
Right.
tend to follow your recommendations and you get better results, quite frankly.
Right. And not only that, but you also know when patients are walking through the door that you have an expectation now that you can collect a certain amount of money. It's not, you don't have to worry that you're going to get paid. And so your practice is able to prosper and you can focus on the patient. You don't have to be concerned whether or not you're going to get paid next week. So we specifically set this company up to provide doctors with a way to get financial certainty on their PI, their work comp, and even their insurance cases. So I'm going to jump right in here to the next slide and talk to you. We're a very mission driven company, and we're primarily set up to help save healthcare offices and injury victims from financial ruin. Somebody gets in an accident and they can't work, they need treatment, they need to know that they have some of their finances covered. Nice thing, right?
Yeah.
And so we primarily set ourselves up so that we could provide cash advances to injury patients and doctors. We could provide financial certainty in these particular types of cases. And while we're doing that, we're also creating, an outstanding life vehicle. We're helping the doctor to again have financial certainty, and obviously we grow in life by helping others do the same. So we're spreading that message that by helping all of the people in this horrible cycle of whatever it is that they're going through, that our company is there to assist. What we do, we provide a system where chiropractors don't have to wait for payments. We also provide litigation financing to their attorney. Some attorneys don't want to wait to get paid either. We'll talk in a minute how attorneys are actually settling cases because they cannot afford to litigate. They can't afford to fight. We see this a lot. So we provide immediate cash for lien cases. We do it nationwide. And specifically for your clients, we're extending a bunch of free services, straight out, things that cost us, quite frankly, a lot of time, money, and resources, but we're providing a bunch of free service, just basically that we can take a look at a doctor's accounts receivable in his office, and we can kind of give them some determination of how they can improve their cash flow and what kind of systems, and then also if they want to improve their practices by accepting more injury patients, we can have them do that with financial certainty because we'll provide capital. We'll pay them right away. No waiting for payment. Patient walks through the door, you know what they've got, and we can disperse money to them on some certain pre-agreed rate for that patient within under 30 days. No more waiting 6 months to 5 years to get paid. Specifically, we're really concerned about how COVID-19 and the recent crises have been affecting offices. It's been very, very tough. A lot of new processes are in place, and it's hurt a lot of practices. A lot of people have not been able to survive this. So one of the things we want to do, and we were very interested in providing support to offices that have been affected by COVID. That's kind of been our banner now for months. And so doctors that have any of these kind of concerns, we want to go in right away, just provide them with any kind of support they need. Primarily the type of support that we provide is we can look at their accounts receivable and we can tell them how to convert them to cash right away. Specifically for you guys, for Breakthrough, we set up this specific URL so that anybody that comes in, we know they're one of your participants, and we have a record that they're yours, and so they get all the special benefits and features that we've set up through our partnership with your company. And we offer free appointments on the website for anybody that wants to have a free appointment with us. So here's the issue. Again, cases are settling because it's too expensive to litigate. This is a very, very big problem in injury cases. Sometimes the other side, if it's a big company or corporation, they have a lot of resources. And I'm actually doing a couple of cases in the $20 million plus range, large injury cases where the attorneys have put millions of dollars into expert fees and paid a lot of medical expenses. And it's very, very common for them to settle these cases at a very small amount because they cannot afford to litigate. We will cover the costs of litigation. So this doesn't have to happen. This is just a mindset thing about empathy. I just constantly have to remind my staff and everybody we work with that we're always very excited to share the features of our program with everyone, but that's not really what this is about. Even when I'm talking to you or I'm talking to your staff, it's really about what it is that's affecting the person that needs to use our service. Obviously we have a lot in common, but they'd like to know that. And it's not really about the service we're providing. It's really about how will this solution benefit that office, the patient, the whole cycle of activity, and what is the benefit to everyone? That's our focus. And we'll talk a little bit later about specifically, again, a little bit of the training that I do with my staff at the end here about how we approach an office to talk to them about this and what's the most effective way, not just in this, but any type of service industry. The bottom line is to constantly remember that the client has needs. And if you fulfill those needs, you build a bridge with that client that gets them to refer and be happy and satisfied with what they're getting. So that's that. It's a constant, every day we do this thing where we're constantly remembering to reverse our viewpoint and not get stuck in the details. It's really not about our service. It is, but it's not. It's the last thing that forms the bridge between us and the client that we're helping. The first thing that forms that bridge is how are you being affected by the crisis, and how can we help you once we know how this is affecting you. We help chiropractors and service providers of all types, interpretation services, durable medical equipment. When people come into the doc's office and they may be seeing a neurologist, an orthopedic surgeon, the law office is involved, the injury victim is involved, and we provide help to all of these people, not just the doctor, but we want to provide solutions to everyone. And by doing that, we feel like we're completing this circle of action for everybody involved in the case. We can also help docs with their collection and billing, sometimes specifically in work comp. There are serious billing issues, and we do that as well. And then also we encourage referrals from everybody along the line, and we're willing to we actually have a referral program in-house to help everybody participate and maybe, get something in the process. So that's what we do. Specifically for Kairos and healthcare and service providers, our primary service is we look at their liens or letters of protection in other parts of the country. And what that is, as you know, is it's an IOU. When someone comes in and they get treatment, they wait 6 months to 5 years to get paid. And what we can do is we can take a look at what they have on the shelf. Doctors have, a lot of doctors, when I was in practice, I had several million in accounts receivable that had developed over the years. And we'll go in there and we can actually offer to give them an advance check on the whole entire accounts receivable. Go in there and say, hey, you've got this amount and we're willing to give you this, and we'll wait for payment whenever that comes. We are non-recourse, meaning that if the case does not settle, whatever money we've advanced to the doctor, he gets to keep, regardless of the outcome of the case. There's that financial certainty again. We purchase and lend on entire case portfolios and all types of injury cases, not just necessarily physical injuries, but other types of injury cases we do as well, where somebody might have some type of a financial injury. I know this isn't typically something we run into, but we could. We also have loans and startup capital, credit score driven up to 500,000. If a doc wants to expand his office, our rates are very reasonable for that. We have startup capital, and for some reason, if they need money to do something, buy equipment or improve their office, we have a solution for that. If they don't have accounts receivable, or they need something to get them going, especially at this time. And again, we can help with collection specifically in work comp. We have a whole team that does that. For the lawyer involved, we also offer non-recourse payment to attorneys' offices, and we can advance them money, as I said, on litigation expenses. And we also can provide them with capital, lines of credit. And the case types are, we do everything from, injury cases to commercial cases where somebody is owed money for some other business purpose. We can help the law offices as well. So how does that help a chiropractor that we're helping their attorney? Well, they can send, through our network, people ask me all the time, do you have a lawyer I can work with? Do you have a chiropractor I can work with? And we refer these people back and forth to each other, and we make sure that they're covered. So we do a lot more. Like I said, we try to do a lot more than just provide a finance service, but we try to also to connect them together. And we love working with both sides because it provides certainty for all sides of this equation. It's good for everybody. For the injured party, we can provide we can provide an advance on their case so that they can get money for whatever they need. We do that in medical, we do it in work comp, and even in probate cases where somebody might have an inheritance, we can also provide them with advanced funding. Sometimes very important when people are waiting to get paid and they are having trouble. So why am I bringing this out? Again, we want to provide a wide range of service to people just to build, to help them with whatever their situation is. And eventually, that just helps them, it helps us, and that's all we're really trying to do. Professional loans, we mentioned healthcare providers with a 630 plus credit score can get up to $500,000, and the rates are as low as 8% with a 10-year payback. We can also provide loans to any professional with a license can get this as well. It's an accountant, a lawyer. We do that as well. It's not the primary focus of our business, but these things are available to people if they know someone that needs help, especially at this time, available to them. All types of liens and letters of protection, all types of injury cases. And as we mentioned, this is to all types of providers, imaging centers and labs as well, and all types of ancillary providers, translation services, copy services. If they're taking a lien, we can help finance it through the case. So what happens in the med legal arena, so we have an intersection of three businesses here, three areas, right? We have healthcare, and we have the legal side, and we have financing. Three kind of separate things that all intersect in a med legal case. And on the legal side, if somebody is actually going to go to trial, there are experts that have medical legal experts have to get paid. And some of these people are they're expensive. Some of them are $25,000 a day. And we will cover the expenses. So again, to get that client to the finish line, the lawyer doesn't have to say to the doctor, "Hey, I don't know what to do. I can't afford this." We'll cover legal experts, and I'd encourage the docs out there to take a look into doing that as well. It's quite lucrative, and um, I think it's a very interesting for me. I've always found it to be quite fascinating.
Mhm.
If they've got dead insurance claims, we have a recovery service. If they've been sitting on a bunch of accounts receivable, we'll let them know what we think we can do with them and if they're worth anything. So we are nationwide. As far as our funding process and our rates are concerned, this is something I have to really point out. Every office and every client is an individual case. I could kind of give some ranges, but when I do that, it always kind of leads to some confusion because we have to look at every individual case. There's no shortcut, there's no one price or size fits all. And sometimes what we have to do is we literally have to go in and start doing billing and collection to create a history so we can figure out what their cases are worth. Sometimes once we improve their history, we can get them more money. Not only are they making more money, but their cases now are worth more and their entire process changes. And also what we charge goes down as well. So the history determines how much this is going to cost. Same thing again, legal funding injury cases help for law firms. And we mentioned ancillary products that we have money for purchase and sale of practice. One of my inside associates that works in my company actually does purchase and sale of practices. So we can assist them with that as well. Sometimes we get in there. Hopefully it's not too late. We want to support docs to stay in business. So, but if they want to buy and sell a practice, we have resources for that. Medical experts and medical equipment leasing and litigation financing. This is what we do. So if I could spend a minute, Mark, I just want to talk a little bit about success and how we succeed with clients. I've built some successful companies, and I never do it by thinking about myself. All right, it sounds very simple. We have this thing called the power of one, and what is that? So it's the idea that if you can satisfy one client, or you can bring in and have one very satisfactory relationship, that everybody they know now becomes a client of yours. And especially in an injury arena where people are connected, usually in a community, when you're successful with one chiropractor, one lawyer, one injured client, that leads to a lot of success for you as a practitioner. That's really, and so for me, success again, what is it? It's mindset, tools plus action, right? And we're talking a lot about mindset, financial certainty, but also this idea of really just focusing on that one client and at a time and thinking about how powerful that is, that if you have one person, you could literally, like my relationship with you, for instance, right? Like you're one person, but you have this company and this broad scope of people that you help. And so my relationship with you is it's very important to me. And, we're each one person, but we have all these people behind us. And as a result, we're getting to all of those people. Why do people do business with me? Well, they do it because I help them and, I care about them and they like me and I like them and I support them. And quite frankly, I want to do business with people that I like and that like me. And that's probably why we got into this, is because, we want to help people and we want to, we want them to have the reward and that rewards us. So you'll notice product knowledge is on the bottom here. I'm actually of the mindset that's actually, it's important, but it's the least important thing of why people do business with me. They do business with me because I care about them and I want to know about how I can help them and I can be a part of their happiness in life. It's all about them. Very personal. When we talk to a doctor's office, we kind of ask them how they're doing. We don't come on and say, "Hi, doc, how's your accounts receivable today? You know, and it doesn't get anybody excited, but how are you doing? And how is your office being affected? And how do we help you survive this crisis right now, or any crisis, or just your business in general? How do you not only survive, but how do you thrive? And so that's our focus again, just to shift from backwards to forwards to be asking them how they are. And the way we do this really is just to remember to ask questions, which I'm not doing right now, but how's your traffic being affected by the crisis? And are you doing personal injury work comp? If you're not, why not? Um, some docs have cash practices. I get it. What are they doing with their PI and work comp? Do they not take liens for a specific reason? If they could get paid in 2 weeks instead of 2 years, would they be interested in taking those cases now? You know, I would say yes. Are you getting reduced? Are you getting, how are you being affected and how can we help you? And do you work with other offices? That's kind of the referral question. You know, who else are you working with? And can I set up a time to speak to you? Hopefully, I'm already doing that, and we'd love to help you right now. How can we help you and be of service to you right at this moment? So this is really the idea of focusing on that one person, finding out how they're being affected and how we can help them, and then getting to some solutions that we can provide again on a one-by-one basis. Everything we do is with an individual. It's done. We have to take a look to see how we can actually help them. And this is us, and we set up an email specifically for breakthrough coaching, and everything that comes through this gets recorded through your specific website that we set up a tag on it for you. And this is us. We are on the West Coast, but we're nationwide. We have reps throughout the country. We're not in every market, but we can do business in every market, and it's great for us to be introduced to other areas in the country that we haven't, flourished in before, and take advantage of that. So that's basically what we do and who we are. Just really excited to meet with you today, Mark. Do you have any questions for me?
Well, Mitchell, this is really exciting. And to have a solution for docs, quite frankly, right now, as I'm sure are aware, many practices have been put under some financial stress. A lot of them applied for the PPP monies that are now exhausted, and some applied for the EIDL monies from the SBA, and that was limited in some cases. And many docs are in the position where they're coming out of the trough and climbing back up to the mountain, the top of the mountain. And so to be able to have the boost to get you from here to mid-time next year. And, I know you don't have a crystal ball, Mitch, but none of us truly knows what the next 6 months are going to bring. And to have the safety net, the security of knowing that there's somebody there in Vitality Health who can help you get paid, quite frankly, for the services that you performed. You performed them with the intent of delivering a service, but also of being paid, that can help you actually be compensated for the great work that you do, is absolutely vital. And so, Mitch, just want to say thank you to you and the Vitality Health team for helping and serving our clients, being there, being a human being for them during this time. Because as you know, it's when you need money, the banks are the last that are going to be lending to you. When you need money, you need somebody that you can go to who can understand the situation that you're in, can be empathetic, like you said, with you, and understand that there's help, Mitch.
Right. Yeah, thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate the time you took with me. And staff and docs, if you're listening, feel free to give us a call, answer questions. And sometimes people are a little shy to ask for help, but if you get a sense that they need it, they shouldn't have any hesitation. We're really only here to help people.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Mitchell Howland, and the team at Vitality Health and Legal, for being with us today. This is Dr. Mark Santa from Breakthrough Coaching, and I hope that you make today an exceptional day.
Thank you, Mark.